Okay, let's try filming this video. Everyone is home, the trash man's in the neighborhood, there's planes flying over, and it's gonna be a lot of noise. I'm so sorry. But hey, my name is Brittany. I go by B Michelle here on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and go follow me on other platforms if you like what I have to say. And by the title and by my hat here, you guessed it, we are gonna be watching all of my Bratz DVDs. I'm not gonna lie to you, this video has been dragged out because, you know, I'm a regular girl with a full-time job here, part-time job there. So, you know, it was dragged out more than what it should have. And I have my notes on my trusty dusty phone here, and we're gonna talk about every Bratz movie that I own. So I currently have 7. Well, only have 7 because after a certain age my parents stopped buying these. But these are some OGs. Like, I still got the Blockbuster sticker on some of these, okay? We have Bratz Super Baby. We got The Sleepover, The Fairy Tale, Living Up with the Bratz. We have The Girl Rock, Passion for Fashion, Diamonds, the live action, okay? There is no particular like serious order that I watch these in. It was just based off vibes. So should I watch them in like release order? Maybe, but I didn't. So let's start off with Bratz Super Babies. Okay, this is day 1. I just finished Bratz Super Babies. It was cute. I liked it. Definitely not my top favorite though. I don't think it's gonna be a top favorite because, like, it's an okay. It's okay. It's cute and okay. So far, I'm not feeling this one. I'm not feeling this one at all. This movie basically follows the Bratz as babies. They are in love with like this theme park. They got superheroes and they have like its own TV shows and commercials and things like that, and they want to be the superheroes. At the same time, there's like these little alien potato things that are, you know, trying to take over the world and be taken care of, whatever. And they figured out that, oh, babies get taken care of the most. Like, there's people that tend to their needs all day, every day. So one of the aliens turned into a baby and accidentally leaves the little zapper thing in the amusement park gift shop. The grandma accidentally buys the zapper thing thinking it's a play one, and which gives the Bratz superpowers, because every time you say you wish something and you press the button, it happens. So entirely the movie is just all about the Bratz having superpowers, saving the day. The aliens want to get the Bratz for their superpowers so they can have the same thing, and then eventually the aliens fake like a kidnapping thing at the park, kidnap the Bratz, trap them in the spaceship, and it's like you have until sundown or whatever to get off the ship before it flies back. And the aliens are now alien babies that are pretending to be the Bratz, be taking care of the grandma and at the end of the day, since they're potatoes, the Bratz come up with a plan when they got back inside their house. Was like, let's ask grandma to only cook potatoes to scare the alien potatoes babies away. And then end of story. Okay, end of freaking story on that one. I gave it like a 6. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I did get bored with it after a while, and I kind of fell asleep watching the Bratz Super Babies. So 6 out of 10 for that one. The next one I did was Sleepover. We can get to the next movie. Honestly, it's been a week since the first clip, since I first watched it. Like I said, I I was working night shift, so when I come off home late, I would sleep in until the next day and keep repeating it. So I never woke up early enough to watch these movies. But now that we're back, let's get to the second one. For some odd reason, I have 2 DVDs. I don't know why. Oh well, not our problem to figure out. Bratz Sleepover Adventure. Low key, this is one of my favorite Bratz kids. This is the top Bratz kids for me. Okay, so basically, the Bratz are all at a sleepover at a, you know, new girl's house that Sasha met somewhere. I think at the movies or something. They go over to the house for a sleepover. And first of all, I don't know who this girl's supposed to be. I don't know who this girl. I think her name was like Mad. What's her name? What is that girl's name? 'Cause I was just like, who is this? Why is she here? Megan. I literally put in my notes, who was the 5th girl? Megan? Like, who was Megan? They started telling each other like scary, spooky stories and things like that. And you know, the new girl, the 6th girl whose house that they're over, which is supposed to be an abandoned mansion that just magically is not abandoned anymore and they moved in. I think her name was like Ginger or something like that. But they keep telling scary freaking stories, right? So Sasha's story was like the fun house in the mirror swapping body double, kind of like the kitty version of Us. That was her story. Chloe had like a talking puppy where like in her universe all the puppies could talk and like bully the adults, and she had to deal with that. Why does he sound like somebody from GTA? Like oh wow. The gold chain called Doggo is crazy. And the dog's name was literally Taco. I'm like, as in T-A-C-O or T-A-L-K-O? Taco or Taco? Okay? Megan's scary story was like she went to the carnival with her sister, and when she got into the magic box, sorry, there's a plane passing. Yeah, she got into the magic box with a musician. When she came out, everyone was gone. She was freaked out. She got back in, and then she went back to her reality. Jay's story was they were at the carnival, and she was like, oh, I'm not scared, I'm not scared. And then once she got into the ride, she started tripping out. Everyone turned into monsters. And when they came out the ride, she was like, oh my God. That's her scary story, being chased by monsters. I forgot to mention that Yasmin's story was about like how she spent money that was supposed to go for her friend's birthday, and she bought like a bracelet or something with it, and the bracelet was kind of like haunting her and like showing up everywhere that she went, until she finally gave the friend the bracelet and told the truth of like, yeah girl, I spent the money for myself on this bracelet and gave you like a crappy vase. And it wasn't until like, you know, she put 2 and 2 together that, oh yeah, the bracelet is cursing me until I give it to my friend. But yeah, forgot to say what Yasmin's story was. That was it. And then last but not least, it was Ginger's turn. Ginger was like, oh my God, I can't tell scary stories. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I don't think I can do this. And so she runs out the room and she doesn't come back. Then the Bratz goes in the mansion to find her, because they're like, did she go to her parents' room? Did she like sleep in the living room? Like, where did Ginger go? They can't find Ginger nowhere. So they run out the house, because I think something started chasing them in the house. And they get out the house, and then all their scary stories are coming to life. Like Sasha's body double, the clowns from Megan's story, Chloe's talking dog, and that owner. Like, everything is coming to life. And then every time they run to each other's houses to like find shelter, Ginger, her parents, like, hey girls, come on in, welcome to sleepover. And they run away, because, you know, technically Ginger's parents should have been at her house. And then, you know, come to find out, they're in their own spooky Halloween nightmare, because they turned into the monsters that from Jade's scary story. And when they go to, I don't know, Chloe's house last or whoever to hide, and they open the door and Ginger's parents are there, this time they break the curse by screaming, because Now all the Bratz are the literal monsters. I hope some of y'all are enjoying my fast talking, because y'all really thought I was gonna give a deep dive on these movies? No. No, for sure was not. I did take notes to remember what's happening in these movies, because I know I won't forget. I gave this one an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like this could have been a Goosebumps story, or Are You Afraid of the Dark, or like, I feel like this is like a kitty version of something that I've probably seen on Goosebumps or something, and this is actually pretty good. I generally like this Bratz Kid Sleepover. This one actually had me scared as a kid. I love this one. Top of the line. I suggest that Bratz Kid to anyone. Next one, we got Bratz Kids Fairy Tale. I kind of like this one because, like I said, this one is literally a kiddie version of retelling the fairy tales, like an Into the Woods type of thing, where like all the fairy tales are all connected in the same woods, same universe type John. It's literally just that, but it's a kiddie version because the Bratz are doing a play about, you know, their fairy tales. Like obviously Yasmin's Cinderella, Chloe's Rapunzel, Jade's Snow White, and Sasha's Little Red Riding Hood. And since they talked bad about the fairy tales, saying that, oh, they're just damsels in distress, we can do better than this. That we can do better than these fairy tales. A magical frog who says he's a prince, you know, if you kiss him, he's like, look, the fairy tale gods heard y'all bad mouthing, so now what? I'm gonna pop y'all in these fairy tales, and you're gonna have to defeat each and every enemy that these fairy tales have, completing the story in your version, right? And that's basically the premise of each movie, where like they are literally going up against, you know, each one of their enemies, you know, the evil queen, the wicked witch, the wolf, all that stuff, stepmama. They have to complete each story to prove that if they were in those situations, they can do it. And then they all realize, oh my god, this was so much harder than anticipated. They really had it hard because they didn't have no technology. They didn't have somebody on the call. Now these girls are really locked up for real. Basically, that's what this movie is. Not gonna lie, I kind of fell asleep on this one too. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not that bad. I gave it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10. We have Living It Up with the Bratz, one of their interactive DVDs. There's another interactive DVD that is like this, I think it's like a similar cover, but it's like gold. I forgot the name of it. If I find it, I'll put it on the screen. Respectfully, I was not gonna go through every single option of this. I was not gonna go through every single option of this DVD because there's literally 6 different storyline combinations and 4 fun activities, plus 4 music videos. This is what I mean by like I'm just choosing the first option that it gives me each time. I'm just choosing the first one. Okay, so I'm thinking they want me to do each one regardless, because I just did the first one. Like I said, we're gonna keep doing the first one, but I'm gonna see if I had to keep doing each one to move past. But because when I first clicked that first one, it did Living It Up, but now it's doing this one again, this video now. So I don't know if the options shuffle or what, I don't know, but a Bratz quiz. So there's many different combinations you can do to like interact with the Bratz. And they got the quizzes in here. Okay. Basically, long story short, I'm not gonna go explain all this. I might have clips of some of the choices I made to like show you guys that I'm just choosing the first one, or I'm letting it choose for me just to push the DVD along, because I was not gonna click through every single thing. But yeah, this just like takes place summer or something, like the beginning of the school year. I don't know, they're like reminiscing on something and you're like choosing their memories kind of. This one I gave 6 out of 10 because like I said, I was not gonna get through all of this DVD and It's so much going on. This one, Bratz Girls Rock. I need to see what year this came off. This year's came out because it really much gave like a camp rock, High School Musical vibes, you know, like a camp rock vibe. Because this is a musical. Long story short, the girls are on summer break from high school, and they were able to get enrolled and accepted into like this arts camp that's supposed to lead you to like making it in the industry or whatever, right? Right. And we will bring this back up when I get to the live action, because this should have really had helped them when they wrote this. No lie. It should have, because there's so many similarities in these two movies, but we're gonna get there in a second. So basically, they get into summer camp, and we all know that all the Bratz movies have like, I forgot, I think they call it, what's her name, Mrs. Tweeville, whatever her name is, where she has like the two twins that represent like making fun of Barbie and all that stuff. So those twins are in here, and they're like following this one girl, what's her name, Anna. She's following Anna. She's a ginger. She's gonna be top of the line ballet, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the Tweeville twins, you know, the Barbie knockoffs, they're supposed to be following her. And then of course we have Dylan and Cameron as the main guys in here too. But basically they're planning to enter the competition at the end of the summer as a group. But what happens before that, they discover their different passions and what they're good at. Like we all know Jade is good at fashion. We all know Sasha was good at dance. Chloe is getting in her acting bag, and Yasmin is supposed to be singing / composing, whatever. That was the classes they end up individually being good at after trying everything out together. And as the movie progresses, they kind of separate and got persuaded to enter the contest as individuals. In the midst of that, they were like, you know, telling Anna like, hey, you don't have to like stick to one thing, and hey, you can always have friends. All the things that they were doing in the beginning, until they found out they were actually good at separate things. And then they kind of ditched Anna, and then Anna got upset and was like, I can't do this no more. And then Dylan was pursuing Anna and, you know, dating her over the summer. And then the evil ballet lady teacher was like, you know what, Dylan, you're messing her up. You're distracting her. You need to dump her. And then she like gave the solo that was Anna's solo to Sasha. So the teacher was kind of plotting on Anna. So since everyone kind of like ditched her and like left her or whatever, she felt like, oh my god, nobody likes me. And then she was about to get on the bus and leave. But once she overheard them saying how like it was all the teacher's evil doing or whatever, she decided to come back and stay. And then at the end of the movie, everybody apologized and realized it's best to work as a team and then separate. They entered the contest as like the musical number for Anna's solo. So it's like Anna's dancing and they're like the music for her. So technically she is her name on the entry and not all of them. Or it's like Anna and the Bratz, something like that. So they win the contest. Anna gets her movie deal or whatever, and then they just give like the Bratz some type of music, something, you know what I'm saying? But Anna got the big package because that was the whole point of the movie. It's pretty good. It's really nice. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell you the whole movie. 8 out of 10 because it's not that bad. It's actually really good. I have Bratz's passion for fashion diamonds. Okay, period. Not gonna lie, this is one of my top faves. I don't care what anyone says. This is one of my top 5 right here. I love this movie. It's really good. It keeps you entertained the entire time. It's like a whodunit a little bit. The Bratz are going against, like I said, I think her name is Mrs. Tweeville. Okay, this is Birdie Maxwell. She is, you know, the ringleader for the Tweeville twins and the magazine, you know, the Barbie knockoffs, whatever. But yeah, this is Birdie Maxwell. The Tweeville twins are called Tweeville because they're twins and they're evil, but their names are actually Christy and Casey. So yeah. Hopefully I'm not confusing people. I think I might keep calling them all the Tweevils, just to make it simpler, who was like the Barbie knockoff. She's actually in this movie this time. We get to see her, plus the Tweevil twins. And so it's the Bratz versus them. I forgot the name of the Barbie magazine, whatever they call themselves in here. They both are in here racing to different cities to find other girls to be on their designer team to compete in a fashion show in New York. Trying to win some diamond studded boots, okay? And like one of the main guys, his name is Brian Powell, kind of like, you know, Simon Powell. Like Simon Powell, whatever the guy's name is. He's Brian Powell, you know what I'm talking about. Like he's literally like a ripoff of Simon. This is like, where do they get these 18-wheelers from that turn into stages when you press a button? Y'all got big money on production. And they have to drive to each town with no GPS, no phone, no nothing, just the map of where they're supposed to go. They pick the girls and go and keep going until they get to New York. And if you're late and miss a stop, you just don't get a girl. First, Chloe starts telling her, like Byron, how scared she had of road trips because all the folklore about hitchhikers and creepy diners and aliens and all that stuff, right? Which gives him the idea to prank them on their way in this road trip. They stop at the first town. They get a girl named Mandy. She's like country, ha 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 ha. The Barbies pick up a girl named Christy on their first stop, okay? Fast forward, Mandy is like slowly sabotaging everyone because she wants to be the only person that gets them diamond boots and the money prize and all of that stuff. Team Barbie, Mandy had put them a flat tire. When the flat tire came, Christy, the other girl, she didn't want to change the tire. She's like, you know what, I don't need this. So she called her daddy and go home. So the Barbies have nobody to walk for them for this entire movie because, like I said, they keep getting caught up in Mandy's you know, setting them up, plus Byron's pranks, and no one was prepared for this. The Barbies are thinking that the Bratz are doing all the things that they're encountering to them, even though it's just Mandy. Mandy's doing all this, plus Byron's pranks. Oh wait, pause, let me go back. After they picked up Mandy and they went to the second town, they picked up another girl named Tiffany. Mandy didn't like Tiffany because Tiffany was a bad bee, okay? She was looking good. So Mandy stole all the Bratz stuff and put it in Tiffany's bag, make it look like Tiffany was stealing. Fast forward, Barbie switched the signs on the street so the Bratz can go the wrong way because the Barbies are thinking that Bratz are messing with them. So when Bratz end up in Plainsville in a cornfield and see that the scarecrows are dressed down, like the scarecrows look good. What's her name? Sheridan. Her name was Sheridan. They meet Sheridan. Sheridan's like a young, you know, farm girl. She's like, I don't have the star power for this. This isn't my lifestyle, etc, 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 etc. So then after convincing her parents and all that stuff, and seeing her fashion, she even made some new clothes because she thought maybe the fashion contest wanted more elegant. So she made new elegant clothes on the spot. Mandy steals the truck and goes off to New York to enter as the Bratz for herself. Okay, after convincing the parents and all that stuff, the mom gives the Bratz the pink car and they race to New York. By the time they get to New York, at first they were like, no, you can't come in because the Bratz are already here. But the Bratz aren't here. That's just Mandy by herself. They get there and then they had to come up with some bedazzling and all that to their outfits on the spot with the help of some kits they already had on them. They basically win and beat Mandy. Mandy doesn't like that. So she follows Brian down a dark hallway, knocks Byron out with her shoe, steals the Diamond's boots, and then they go on a chase in New York to get the Diamond's boot back. And it's not until they almost die in the subway because Mandy wants to jump in the tracks. Sheridan is like, guys, I gotta help her and make sure she doesn't die. Gets her out of the tracks. And then says, losers. The Bratz finally catch up with them because they got tricked on the train, you know, switcheroo stuff. And then Mandy gets arrested, you know. Sheridan and then the Bratz win. Sheridan gets the the bedazzled diamond boots, and you know, her parents pick her up in the pink car. They get like a photo shoot deal and all that stuff, and then Byron's like, I got another thing for y'all, let's get on the road and do something else. Period. Pooh. 9 out of 10. Because like I said, after explaining all that, the movie is not bad. But the reason why I say these two movies, they should have watched this one, the camp one, first before they made this live action. And the reason why I'm saying that, because the stuff that these characters do, the things that they do here, don't line up with the skill sets they put in here. Because my biggest ick in this movie is Chloe's character in this live action. Because Chloe in all the other movies, specifically this one, is supposed to be the actress of the group, the crybaby, the dramatics. You know what I'm saying? Like in all the movies, she really is known as the crybaby, the actress, the phoniness. Always, all the time. And she's inspiring to be an actor. But in the live action, y'all make her a tomboy who likes soccer. Make her poor. Why? Why is she the poor blonde tomboy that likes soccer? I don't get it. Where did we get that from? If there's some other Barbie movies that I don't know about, please let me know. Where did they get that from? It pissed me off so bad in this movie because everything else makes sense. Jade is super smart and nerdy, but she does the fashion thing. Yasmin is doing the peace, zen, and she's a singer. And then Sasha in this movie does cheerleading, because that's realistic in a high school. She does cheerleading because she does dancing in all the other movies. So why is Chloe not the actress in the drama club and all that stuff that is set up? Oh gosh. That is literally set up in all these other movies. In multiple movies, she's literally known as the crybaby. She's known as the actor. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay, I don't like that at all, y'all. And then like they make Sasha have divorced parents. And then I think Yasmin and her brother. Sorry about that. My camera stopped because I'm getting low on storage on this SD card. But where we left off. Okay, so basically the movie starts off with them entering freshman year. There's like a clique. Like I said, it's very like High School Musical-esque type of vibe. Like choose something and stick to that thing, stick to that group, stick to that clique. And then you have Meredith, who's kind of like a parody of like Sharpay a little bit. She like rules the schools and like cliques everybody up, and it's like you have to do something. You have to be in a group and sit with your group. There's no mixing and mingling. So basically the Bratz starts off together. They're like, oh no. And then just like this one, they go off and figure out what they like. Like they do the different classes, because like I said, Jay does the science club and the fashion club. Chloe, for some reason, is in soccer, but not drama. She's in soccer. Yasmin is a loner because she's afraid of stage fright and doesn't want to join the music club and the choir and all that stuff. And then Sasha does cheerleading. Okay, like I said, it makes sense with this one because Jade is fashion, Sasha is dance, Chloe is supposed to be acting, and Yasmin does music. Did they not watch this movie before making that one? Please let me know. Did they not watch these together? Then, just like this one, once they discovered their other talents outside of each other, they start drifting apart. 2 years go by. Now they're like, I'm guessing juniors in high school, like between 16 to 17 now in the timeline. So now they're juniors. They've been separated for 2 years. Only reason why they got back together was because Meredith is with Cameron in this movie. Dylan and Yasmin are kind of like flirting a little bit. And Jade is like, has hots for the guy in her science club. For some reason, Sasha don't get a man in this movie. Don't know why. Why don't my girl Sasha get a man in this movie, but everybody else get a man? Make it make sense. Chloe and Cameron are like flirting, but Cameron is part of Meredith's clique. And Meredith don't like that him and Chloe have been, you know, flirting with each other a lot, okay? So she lets her dog loose on campus to bite Chloe's pants leg. Chloe trips and tosses her whole tray of food over the banister, causing it to fall on, I think, Jade. Jade backs up and trips over a trash can, which causes her to spill her food on Sasha. Sasha gets mad and, like, I think she kicks a skateboard that was like sitting in front of her. She gets mad at Jade, throws the food, and kicks the skateboard. That skateboard trips up Yasmin, who like face plants into her plate. And then it starts a big food fight, which ends up with them knocking over the principal's statue. Because Meredith is the principal's daughter. That's a big deal. They get detention. They finally make up, and it's like, this is not cool. We need to stick together, not separate. Talking about, you know, entering the showcase together and all this stuff. And then Meredith like threatens Yasmin with like, I know all y'all secrets. How y'all leave the house and then come here acting a different way. How some of y'all are poor. How some of y'all are this and that. And she's like, if you get in my way at this talent show, I'm exposing everybody and their mama. So Yasmin backs out of the talent show with the Bratz and Dylan and everyone else. And then the whole crew hates her and doesn't speak to her. So now, I'm guessing now we're in the final half of the semester. Like, more time has gone by. We're in the final half of the semester. Chloe's mom is like, do y'all think there's like something wrong with her? Like, did any of that cross your mind? Like, maybe something's wrong with this girl. Is she depressed? Is she okay? Like, that's not Yasmin to quit anything. So then they finally go talk to her. Yasmin tells them the truth, right? So then, like I said, Chloe is painted out to be this very poor girl, and her mom is poor and struggling. Meredith hires Chloe's mom to, you know, cater the party, her Sweet 16 Part 2. Because she wants more attention on herself. She's like, what was the biggest thing that I've done that had everyone on my top? My Sweet 16. I'm going to do a part 2 and invite MTV to record it. Okay? So, of course the Bratz don't get an invite because they're sticking together and not separate like everyone wants them to be. Like, everyone is distancing themselves. Like, the cheer team is like, Sasha, if you don't want to hang with us, you're going to be off the team. The science club, like, you want to hang with us, Jade? You're going to be off the team. So they're kind of like outcasted and lonered out because how Meredith structured the clubs and the cliques and things like that, right? Right. So, so they find the truth. They help Chloe's mom, like, you know, bake all of the food, work for the party. Meredith originally had them in like clown costumes, but they, you know, ratified their outfits and made into cute clown costumes. They stole the show at the party. And even when she tried to embarrass the Bratz, it still got spun around because, you know, everyone's like, the Bratz aren't evil. It started like going along with the embarrassing moments, even though she embarrassed Chloe with her stage fright, trying to sing on stage. Fast forward. I messed this part up too because I wasn't looking at my notes, but we know that Meredith confronted Yasmin before the party, which caused her to pull out of the contest, which causes everyone to hate Yasmin. Then they make up and work the party, right? So since the party and stuff is over, everybody goes back to school. The groups are still kind of like side-eyeing the Bratz because, you know, they want to sit together and not be with them. So since they technically had pulled out of the talent show and not re-entered the talent show, since the talent show is now, you know, talent showing, they have to, you know, pull everything together the night of, while also, you know, showing Meredith that friendship sticks together and that they rule and they're not going to follow whatever standard norms that she's trying to put on the school, blah, 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 blah. Last minute, after Meredith and all the other talents have went on stage and, you know, Meredith chose all the bad people to compete against her purposely, they come in She exposes them on the flash drive to everyone, but the Bratz own up to it, which caused people in the audience to start telling their deep secrets. Like, every plan that Meredith has kind of backfired ever since the Bratz decided to get back together. And then, of course, it was a big musical number because the original performance that they was able to do now was like they got everybody, like every clique together to perform and do choreo and show that no one needs to be separate but equal. We ought to be equal with equality, okay? But like I said, it just really made me mad how some of these characters were painted. It definitely is a Y2K movie for sure. It's not that bad, but I feel like now after Barbie has gotten a really good resurgence, like that film is so good. Greta, what's her name? Greta Gerwig did her thug thizzle with that Barbie movie. We're gonna need an updated Bratz. I would love to pitch an updated Bratz live action of some sort. If y'all would like to see that process, I would definitely do it. But like I said, it made me mad. Like, they need to have watched this one at least to figure out the character traits of that, because it could have been so much better than when I watched these before I got this one. It's like, y'all missed the mark on some of these. Yeah, guys, that is all of my Bratz DVDs. I hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, sorry for the bright light. The sun and the clouds are moving everywhere. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me here on TikTok, Instagram, the YouTubes, all of that. So hope you guys enjoy my video. Bye.